Alright, what's up college football fans? Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and we are back with the second half of our Oklahoma USC matchup. And again, we did the first half of this Tuesday. This is our third demo in release week for Glory Days College Football, available at SidelineStrategy.com. And we've already done a quick play demo and a hybrid play demo, which is the base mode for the game. And then for those of you that like a longer play-by-play experience, of course, you can play full hybrid mode as well. So that's what we're doing here. And just to catch up, USC leads 14-7 as indicated. They scored 2 touchdowns in the second quarter to take the lead. Oklahoma, however, less plays but more yardage, and neither team has done anything through the air. This has been a ground attack. So for the second half, both teams get 2 possessions in the third quarter. USC gets 3 in the fourth, Oklahoma 2. And we are ready to go with the kickoff. And for the Sooners, that kickoff is going to fall down at the goal line. USC on the return, roll of 9, and 9 is going to go to the team chart. And team chart, again, specific to the team is right here. USC has a touchdown on there because, of course, they have Anthony Davis. But this is going to be a 23-yard return. And 1st and 10 for the Trojans as we are underway, half number 2. And Anthony Davis, 8 carries, 44 yards in the first half and a touchdown. Behind him, Cunningham, Sam Bam Cunningham, 6 carries, 20. And McNeil, the big star for the Trojans, 9 carries, 66 yards. And USC comes out and they go right back to the ground. 32 is going to be a 1-star result. And ball carrier here is going to be Davis. So Davis on a roll of 4 is going to get a 6-yard gain. And we are underway in the second half. 2nd down and 4 for the Trojans. Ray brings the Trojans up to the line of scrimmage, and the roll is going to be yet another run. And 42 will be a stalemate, and of course stalemate, you add the yardage adjustment notated here for the running back, depending on who the ball carrier is. And this time it is going to be Cunningham, and Cunningham has a -1 adjustment, and 9 in the stalemate is 5 yards reduced to 4. It's going to be enough for the first down, though, as Cunningham gets it up to the 33, and Trojans moving on the ground once again as they did in the first half. And they're going to stay on the ground. 15 is going to be a 2-star result. Ball carrier here is going to be McNeil again. I'm sorry, not McNeil. Ray, the quarterback. And Ray is going to pop one to the outside, and he's going to get 8 yards on that. So Trojans picking up where they ended up in the first half with a solid run game. And Ray, he had 1 carry for -7, a sack in the first half, so that gets him back to the positive category. 2nd down and 2. And 2nd down and 2, possible penalty. They're going to stick to the ground. AD is going to be the ball carrier, and this would be a 1-star result, roll of 1. And for AD, that is going to be a 2-yard gain. Let's see if there is a penalty. Be enough for the first down, and there is no penalty. So USC, Davis stacked up, but he fights his way ahead to the 43 for a first down. And USC, 2 consecutive first downs to start the second half. Trojans on the move, and Trojans on the move. This is going to be another run play. The dice have been very run friendly, and this is going to be a 1-star result. And ball carrier McNeil. And McNeil, roll of 3, plows ahead for 5 more yards. So USC averaging a nice 5 yards per clip thus far in this game. Or just under 5 yards a clip. To 154 total yards all on the ground. Trojans going to go right back to the running game, and 22, a possible another penalty, 1-star result. Ball carrier is going to be McNeil once again, and McNeil, roll of 0, and that will be a 4-yard gain. Let's see if there is a penalty, however. And there is no penalty, so McNeil is going to give the Trojans a 3rd down and 1 at the Oklahoma 48-yard line as Ray brings them up to the line of scrimmage. Oklahoma loads the box. And here comes a play, and USC looking to catch Oklahoma napping. That's a 9 on the play call. That'll be a long pass. They're going to get an advantage. 32 normally would be stalemate. That goes to the 1-star column, and roll of 3 on the long pass. Incomplete still. And Ray continues his struggles. He is 0 for 4 in the air. It's going to make it 4th down and 1. McKay has gambled 3 times on 4th and 1. He's going to do it again in Oklahoma territory. And 99, and we're going to have an event. This is our first one of the 4th quarter. And actually, I'm going to have to bring the event chart up. I had closed that. 1 second. All right, and again, in play-by-play mode, the first 99 you roll in each quarter, you will check the event chart. After that, it is just the normal play result, which in this case would have been a long pass on 4th and 1. Probably not a good idea. So roll on the event chart. And 34, injury to QB, out for the game, -1 to result column for all pass plays, as if USC needed that at all. So anything they get, they can't get any 2-star results now throwing the ball. So Ray shaken up. And we're going to go back to the 4th and 1 play, and this will be the play he gets injured on. 8, and they're going to stick to the ground. Oklahoma, though, stacking the box, and they're going to move that to the 1-star column. And ball carrier on this is going to be Cunningham. They give it to the big bruiser, and he plows ahead for a gain of 4 yards. So first down to the 44. And another 1st and 10 for the Trojans. As Cunningham has not been spectacular, but he's gotten those tough yards up the middle. 1st and 10, Ray out, and it's going to be a run play 61. That's going to be a defensive plus, so Oklahoma with the advantage there. Roll of 7, that's going to be a 3-yard gain, ball carrier AD. 2nd down and 7, as USC will probably get even more run happy. And of course, we know Switzer and his wishbone offense would be excessive if he got 4 or 5 or 6 pass attempts this game. 2nd down, sticking to the ground. AD is going to be the ball carrier again, and this will be another defense +1. So Oklahoma, with Ray out, stepping up, and that's going to be a 2-yard gain for Anthony Davis. It's going to make it a 3rd and 5, so 3rd down and 5. And here it's about 50-50. And 5, that's going to be a short pass attempt, and 66 comes out of the defensive column. Pass is going to be intended for Swan, but roll of 3 and the defensive ++ on short pass, and that's going to be incomplete, possible sack, and sack rating for USC is 1 to 10. Oklahoma's adjustment is a +2, so 12 or less. And 3, quarterback is going to go down the way sacks work. Roll the 2d6, and that's the yardage you lose. So obviously we do not have backups factored into this game, so Ray will get credit for another 7-yard loss. And that's going to put the kibosh on this drive. That will make it 4th down and 12. And at the 46, too long to try a field goal, so McKay, not McCray, John McKay is going to send the punt team out. USC's punt team is a C. And we'll re-roll that. It was tipped, and that's going to be an 8. So 8 on the punt, and 8C will be a 43-yard punt. That's a boomer down to the 3-yard line. It's going to be fielded there. Oklahoma, their punt return is a C as well. So 4C on the punt return, and that's going to be a 4-yard gain. Kind of risky to bring it out from the 3, but gets it up to the 7. And a little bit of breathing room as Oklahoma starts their first drive of the second half finally. And they trail 14-7. Switzer upset with the team in the first half. A turnover, a drive-killing turnover, a fumble, and an interception. So 2 TOs for the Sooners. And they're going to come out running the ball, which is what they usually do. USC, of course, expecting this plain run. And they have the box stacked coming out of the defensive ++ roll of 4. and that's going to be a 1-yard gain. Ball carrier there is Washington. So tough sledding, and Oklahoma definitely has to put a sustained drive together. They have been out time of possession, which is unusual with their run-heavy offense. So Switzer staying on the ground, 41. That's going to be a stalemate column. Ball carrier is going to be Davis, the quarterback, which means a -2 adjustment to the stalemate result. So a roll of 6 in the stalemate column. That's going to be a solid 8-yard gain. And reduce that to 6, so up to the 14. It's going to make it 3rd down and 3, though, as Davis fakes the toss and is able to get some positive yardage. Oklahoma definitely going to stay on the ground here, I would assume. 7, and they almost decide to throw a pass, but it will be a run play. 31, that's going to be a 1-star result for the Sooners, and ball carrier there is going to be Russell. This will be his first carry of the game, and Russell plows ahead for 5 yards, so the Sooners get a much-needed first down, 1st and 10. And they'd be happy to take about a 12-play, all-on-the-ground drive here. 54, though, that's not going to be a good trench control. That'll be a defensive plus on the run call, and ball carrier is going to be Burgett. And Burgett, 6 in the USC column. That's going to be a 4-yard gain and another possible fumble. So 2nd down and 6, and again the fumble, USC. Defensive adjustment of -1. Oklahoma's 1 to 11, 10 or less, and they cough it up again, and this one is a costly one. So 3rd turnover of the game for the Sooners, and Switzer is beside himself. USC is going to take over at the Oklahoma 23-yard line in their last drive of the 3rd quarter. And they could put a touchdown on the board here. It will definitely complicate things for the Sooners. So drive number 6 for the Trojans. Oklahoma will get 1 more in this quarter. So here we go again. Quarterback is out, and of course they come out trying a long pass. They go straight for the touchdown. That's going to be a defensive plus, though. Not a good call. McKay needs to stick to the ground game. And roll of 3. However, this will be a 12-yard completion if there is not a sack. So you see the blue here, possible sack, 12-yard completion otherwise. And again, sack result is going to be 12 or less. So can the Sooner defense step up? They do. And that's going to be a 4-yard loss. So McKay, good play call. He had the Sooners defensive secondary asleep. Receiver was open, but the defensive line got to the quarterback, and that's going to make it 2nd down, and we're going to go to the 2-minute mode because we're behind the sticks. Again, if you are more than 10 yards to gain, no matter what the down and distance situation is, except for 3rd and 6, of course. Early downs, you would go to the 2-minute chart to represent the higher percentage of passes, but this is going to be a run play. And stalemate column, and ball carrier here is going to be Cunningham once again. So Cunningham has that -1 adjustment and a roll of 8, and the stalemate's only going to be a 2-yard gain. So that gets it back down to the 25, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 12. So 3rd and 12, and the Oklahoma defense could get a big victory here if they can hold them out of the end zone. And USC is going to play it safe and call a run play for the field goal here, and they're going to get a bonus. 53 normally would be defensive plus, comes out of the stalemate column because Oklahoma playing the pass. And again, that's color-coded up here. So that's going to be a run play, and ball carrier is Davis. Stalemate for Davis, who has a +1 to the result, is going to be a 5-yard gain, give him 6, and that's going to get it down to the 19, and that will make it 4th down and 6. Definitely gets USC in field goal range, so McKay playing it close to the vest. From the 19, this will be a 36-yard field goal, and it is 0-68. Here's the snap. Kick is down, and uh-oh, possible penalty. So USC 7 or less. Otherwise, the kick is good, and the kick is up, and it is good. Actually, that's going to be a defensive penalty. Hold on here. If it's anything but an offsides, USC may take the points off the board. So this is on Oklahoma. And roll for the penalty is 7. And 7, that is indeed going to be offsides. So USC elects to let the point stand. That would have made it 4th down and 1. So they get a field goal here in the 3rd, and it is now 17-7. Oklahoma, one more drive in the 3rd quarter. They've got to make hay here. And here comes a kickoff and a 9. That's going to be down to the 10-yard line. The Sooners with a good return can get in good field position here. Their kickoff return is a B. And on the kickoff return roll of 3 is going to be a 27-yard gain. So up to the 37, out from the shadow of the goalpost, and Switzer demanding his team take care of the ball. They've only run 25 plays in this game due to turnovers and bogging down. So they're going to come out and, of course, stick to the ground game, running the ball, wishbone stalemate column, and roll of 4. And that's going to be a 3-yard gain. Ball carrier there will be Davis. And with his -2, that's going to change it to a 1-yard gain. And again, stalemates are only applied, or yardage adjustments are only applied in the stalemate column. 2nd down and 9, and Oklahoma for sure is going to run again. And 26, this time Washington will be the ball carrier. And 26 will be 1-star result. Roll a 2, 6-yard gain for Washington. Gets it up to the 44-yard line, and that's going to make it a manageable 3rd down and 3. And 3rd and 3, defense stacking the box, and this is definitely going to be a run, another run to Washington. 43 would have been a stalemate result. It's going to go to defensive plus because USC is expecting this. And roll of 5, that's going to be a 1-yard gain, so it's going to make it 4th and 2. Washington with a 1-yard gain. Switzer now has a decision to make. And Switzer, knowing he'll get 2 possessions in the 4th quarter, well, he doesn't know that, but I do. So that's how I'm going to make my judgment here. And actually, they're going to go for it. So 4th and 2, a decisive moment. And 15, excellent roll for Oklahoma. That would have been a 2-star result. USC expecting it, kicks it to a 1-star result. Still very good. And ball carrier here is going to be Luttrell. And roll of 5, Oklahoma does not have any bad rolls that would stop them in that category. It's going to be a 9-yard gain for Luttrell, so he gets it down to the USC 46 as Switzer. Time to gamble and wake up this stagnant offense, and that does a trick. Of course, Oklahoma's still ahead in total yardage in this game, but neither team has topped 200. Oklahoma has given USC short fields all night long. As we have a stalemate result, ball carrier 14 is going to be Luttrell. He gets a +1. So that's going to be a 5-yard gain on the adjustment. And it's going to be 2nd down and 5, USC 41. As Switzer now pounding it inside and off tackle, roll of 7. And that's going to be yet another run call. 62, though, that goes in the defensive favor. USC ++ category roll of 3. That's a stuff. And USC coming up big. And I flipped the D20. So ball carrier is going to be Davis. USC stuff on the play. Roll of 6 on the Oklahoma stuff chart is -2. So that kicks it back to the 43 and makes it a 3rd and 7. Davis has been very inconsistent in this game, triggering this offense for the Sooners. So 3rd and 7, normally you would expect a pass here, but Oklahoma, and finally they do pull out a pass. Unfortunately, USC is ready for it. This would have been a 2-star result, kick to the 1-star because USC is playing for a long pass. And you can see there Oklahoma does not throw the ball well, A lot of incompletions in that category. But roll of 7, that's not one of them. That's a 30-yard gain if they can avoid the interception. Unfortunately, the interception range is 1 to 19 for the Sooners. And USC, unless they roll a 20 here, and they come up big again. So that's picked off on the 13, fourth turnover of the game for the Sooners. Switzer beside himself, and the interception return. And 8, that is going to be a 5-yard return. So up to the 18, USC takes over, and we are into the fourth quarter now. USC drive number 7 for them, holding a 17-7 lead, and Oklahoma needs to make something big happen here. First down and 10. So Oklahoma has put the ball up 3 times. 2 of them have come down in the arms of the defense. So USC comes out sticking to the ground game, and 61, that is going to be a defensive plus result. And Oklahoma gearing up to stop the run. That's a 1-yard gain. Ball carrier is Ray, the quarterback. And of course, yes, he is supposed to be out, but backups are not listed due to space constraints on the team card. All right, second down, and second down is going to be a short pass. And again, due to that event, USC is going to get a kick to the defensive plus category on this roll of 0. And short pass, that's going to be a 10-yard gain, however. So USC comes up big, and Young with the catch there, 10-yard completion. And finally, we have some yardage through the air. That's a first down for the Trojans up to the 29-yard line. John McKay very happy with that result. And getting a little frisky now, he's going to call another pass play. This will be out of the stalemate column. And stalemate roll of 0. This pass is intended for McKay, his kid. And that will be incomplete, so not a very good idea there. USC now 1 for 6 throwing the ball, 2nd and 10. And it's going to be back to the run game, and 1-star result there, 19. The ball carrier is going to be Carter. And Carter, 1-star result, and that's going to be big play 1. So USC trying to apply the dagger here. That's going to be an 11-yard run. So that gets it up to the 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Carter now 17 yards on 2 carries. USC closing in on that 200 total yardage mark here. And another run play. 34 will be out of the 1-star column, and ball carrier will be McNeil. McNeil has had a good day for the Trojans. Roll of 3, 5-yard gain for McNeil. That's up to the 45-yard line. It's going to make it 2nd down and 5. McNeil now officially 12 carries, 80 yards. Anthony Davis, 13 carries, 63. And another run play, 63, though. It's going to be a defensive plus. Ball carriers Davis. Oklahoma has been keying on AD. He's had a few of these results throughout the day. Roll of 6, and that's going to be a 2-yard gain for Davis. So up to the 47, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 3. John McKay has the playbook open here. What's it going to be? And they're going to play it safe. A run. Possible penalty. 55 will be a defensive plus. And roll of 9 there is going to be a 2-yard gain for the Trojans, which would be short. Let's check the penalty, though. And 18, it's going to be a penalty on Oklahoma. Wouldn't you know it? It's going to be an offsides. That will take care of what's needed for the first down yardage. As Oklahoma, in addition to their 4 turnovers, has been sloppy. 2 defensive penalties. This one extends a drive. And the Trojans come out, again, long pass on first down, possible penalty, the double ones. That takes it to the 1-star column because of that event that happened. Intended for Young. And 1-star long pass roll of 7, and that is going to be incomplete. Let's see if there is a penalty, and there's going to be another penalty on the Sooners, 15. And that's going to be defensive holding. That moves it down to the 38. Barry Switzer is having an absolute meltdown on the Oklahoma sideline. So back-to-back penalties give USC 2 first downs, and they're going to be smart, stick to the running game. Anthony Davis, a ball carrier. Oklahoma, again, keying him. It's going to be a 6 on the defensive plus chart. 1 yard gain for AD, 2nd down and 9. So Davis, they've kept him bottled up pretty well. 66 yards on 15 carries. The one outlier there has been that 25-yard run he had for a touchdown. Apart from that, he's been stymied fairly well. Possible penalty, another running play. And this time they're going to go back to Sam Bam Cunningham. And 55 will be a defensive plus column, roll of 4. And that will be a 3-yard gain for Cunningham. Let's see if Oklahoma is going to, that's going to be a penalty on the Trojans. So 10 and 10, that is going to be a holding penalty. So back to the 47 we go, and that makes it 2nd down and 19. So we'll go to the 2-minute category. Again, USC behind the sticks, and they're still going to run the ball. McKay not taking any chances. 34 will be a 1-star result. Ball carrier will be Ray, the quarterback. So Ray, quarterback draw, steps up and gets 3 yards, so down to the 44. That's going to make it a 3rd down and 16, however. So Oklahoma's defense doing what they need to do. Their offense just needs to live up to their end of the bargain. And it's going to be a 3rd and long. 6 will be a short pass, 62. And USC in the 2-star column again, or 2+2 column for defense. It's going to be yet another incomplete pass. So we've had a grand total of 1 completion in this game. It's going to be 4th down. And into punt, and looking to pin Oklahoma back deep in their territory. That's going to be a 33-yard punt. That's going to go down to the 11. It will be fielded there. And on the punt return, a C. So 2C will be no return, and long field ahead for the Sooners. They take over their first drive of the 4th quarter. Trailing 17-7, 1st and 10 from their own 11, and they need to put a drive together here. USC is killing them time of possession. They're going to come out and they're going to try and go deep. So Switzer looking to switch it up, and that's going to come out of the defensive plus category. So 4 long pass for USC. That's going to be incomplete, and they are 0 for 4 throwing the ball. 2nd down and 10. Probably seemed like a good idea to Barry at the time, and he goes right back to the ground game. Washington will be the ball carrier. 12 will be a 2-star result, and 1 just missed a big play. Instead, it's going to be a 6-yard gain for Washington. That's going to make it 3rd down and 4. And if Oklahoma could have popped one there, that would have definitely turned the tide and momentum. Oh, dice. Good thing I have extras. All right, 3rd down and 3rd and 4. This is going to be a run play. And 31 will be out of the 1-star category. Washington, again, the ball carrier. And 6, that's going to be a 6-yard gain. Oklahoma, 1st down up to the 23. So they need to keep plowing ahead and take care of the football here. Once again, a run play. Good result. 15 is going to be a 2-star result. Washington, again, the ball carrier. 2, that's going to be an 8-yard gain for Washington. Gets it up to the 31, 2nd and 2. This is what Switzer wants. A steady ground game. Chew clot. Keep USC off the field. And sticking to the ground game, 36 will be a stalemate. And ball carrier here is going to be Luttrell. He'll get a +1 to his carrier result, which is a solid 4 yards, make it 5. So that's up to the 36, and another 1st down. Good distribution amongst the Oklahoma ball carriers. Washington 12 carries, Davis 6, Luttrell 7, Burgett 4, Peacock 3, and Russell 1. And 1st and 10, sticking to the ground, is Switzer, going to be another stalemate result. And ball carrier here is going to be Burgett, no adjustment to whatever the result is. And 1, that's only going to be a 3-yard gain up to the 39, 2nd down and 7. And Burgett has had Oklahoma's best play, a 26-yard run in the first half. Here we go, Oklahoma, 2nd down. They're going to try a short pass, 42. That's going to be a defensive plus. And 9 on the defensive plus. That is going to be a 3-yard completion, and the recipient of that is Owens. So yay, Oklahoma has their first completion of the day. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 4, however. So Switzer betting a running. No, Switzer 3rd and 4, and he's going to air it out, going for the long pass once again. So the Sooners get a little ballsy here. 52, however, is going to be another defensive plus result. So 3 on the defensive plus for USC. That's going to be incomplete, and that's going to make it 4th down. And the crowd has to be wondering what Switzer is thinking here. It's going to be 4th and 4. And down by 2 scores, they really don't have a choice but to go for it here. Switzer putting his team in a precarious situation. This bodes well for them. A 3rd down and 3 to 5. That is going to be a run play still. And 15 will be a 2-star result. Ball carrier there is going to be Peacock, and Peacock, who has spelled Davis throughout this game, breaks outside for 6 yards, and the Sooners keep the drive alive. Elvis Peacock, he has a 28-yard run. I said Burgett had the biggest play. Actually, Peacock does. So Peacock, 4 carries, 38 yards for Oklahoma, and none bigger than that. 1st down. Keeps Oklahoma in the game, and they're going to go back to the ground and stay there. Another 2-star result. Chewing up clock, ball carrier is going to be Davis. And roll of 6, that's going to be a 7-yard gain for Davis. And perhaps we see the USC defensive line starting to loosen up a little bit here as Oklahoma finally getting their offense into high gear. It's been their best sustained drive of the game. They're going to stick to the ground game. It's going to be a 1-star result. Ball carrier will be Russell, his 2nd carry of the game, and that's going to be a 9-yard gain for Russell. So Oklahoma chewing up big chunks of yardage, and another 1st and 10. Russell now 16 yards on his 2 carries. Oklahoma well over 200 yards. 225 of them on the ground, as you would expect. 66, that is a possible penalty. That is a long pass attempt. Switzer once again out of his mind, and that's going to be a defensive plus result. Roll of 8. That will be 13 yards, however, or a possible sack. And Oklahoma, they only get sacked on 1 to 4. It's going to be 1 to 6 with the USC adjustment. So I guess for Oklahoma to be successful through the air, they just have to get the results off USC's defense. So 6 or less, and 9. That is a 9. So that is going to be complete, but we still have that penalty in Oklahoma. And they're going to get called for the penalty. Of course they are, because they're Oklahoma. It's going to be a false start. So that's going to kick it back to the 41-yard line. 1st down and 15. And now Oklahoma is going to go on the 2-minute category, since it is the 4th quarter and they are trailing. And they are behind the sticks. So 0 to 5, though, and their 2-minute offense is still a run. This time it's going to be a short pass, 23, and 23 short pass. That's going to be a 1-star result. Roll of 3 on the short pass. That's going to be a 15-yard gain, and that's complete to Owens. So now we have the ground game going just a little bit. That's going to be a 1st down to the 26. 1st and 10 for the Sooners. back to their normal play calling, and they're going to try another long pass on first down. 0. And look at this, USC again, defense giveth. There are only three positive results in this column, and 2 of them could possibly be bad as well. This is the only pure good result, but that's going to be a 12-yard completion, and that's going to be hauled in by Hoffman. So Davis now, Davis, Switzer, 1st and 10 at the 14. And sometimes the dice do crazy things. In this case, some crazy play calls, but 1st and 10, and Oklahoma goes back to what they do best, run the ball, 1-star result, and roll of 11 is going to be Davis, the quarterback. And 6 on the run, that is going to be a 6-yard gain. Gets it down to the 8-yard line, 2nd down and 4. So this is a big drive for the Sooners. No mistakes here, and 37, that's on the 2D10. 3 is going to be a run. 54, and that's going to come off the defensive plus category, roll of 7, and that's a 1-yard gain for Washington. It's going to make it 3rd down and 3 now for the Sooners, and we would expect Berry to stay on the ground. He does 56, so again, that's coming off the defensive column. Washington, again, the ball carrier, roll of 4 this time, and that's going to be a 3-yard gain. We're going to have a measurement, so Davis gets his 3 yards. And again, the way measurements work, if it's equal to or less than USC's drive defense, which is 11, just short. If it exceeds it, 1st down, and 1st down. So Oklahoma, easily their best drive of the game. 1st down on the USC 27-yard line. And Switzer sticking to the ground. Washington, the ball carrier, 2-star result. 5, and that's a big play. Washington takes a pitch, cuts back inside, and he has some space there, and he's going to get 11 yards on that down to the 16-yard line. Going to be a 1st and 10. First time Washington has exceeded a 10 yards on a run today. So USC's defense looks tired out there right now. And 9, why Switzer, another long pass, and 52, that is going to be a defensive plus result. But of course, the way USC's defense has been going, 0, and that's going to be incomplete, however. So Switzer has put the ball up 9 times in this game. Unbelievable in itself. 2nd down, and 2nd down, they're going to go right back to what they do best, run the ball, 24. 1-star result, 0. That's going to be a 4-yard carry for Washington. That's going to make it a 3rd and 6. From the 12. So Washington now 82 yards, 16 carries, 3rd down and 6. This is a big one. Oklahoma, 3 in Oklahoma. It's 2 down or 4 down territory for them. They're going to stick it to the ground. They're going to get a bonus on that. 51 normally would have been a defensive plus. Instead, it gets bumped to the stalemate. Washington, the ball carrier, he is going to get a yard to this result, and it's a 6-yard result plus 1. 7-yard run down to the 5. 1st and goal for the Sooners. And that yard adjustment helped the Sooners there, as Washington now closing in on 100 yards. He'd like to cap it off with a touchdown, and they're staying on the ground. Davis is going to fake the pitch, cut inside, and this will be a 1-star result. Davis plows ahead for 5 yards into the end zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma. So finally, Oklahoma gets the defense going. They'll have 1 drive left after this, though, so they're at a disadvantage there. Extra point is up and good. So USC, their first drive of the 4th quarter coming up. It is 17-14. Oklahoma leads, and USC set to receive the kickoff. So Oklahoma, their best drive of the day, and they now have 53 total plays. They were lacking severely or lagging behind USC. They've now surpassed them thanks to that long drive. And USC 51 plays, 197. Oklahoma 53 plays for 292. So here is the kickoff, and 3C, that's going to be a touchback. USC out to the 25. USC will have 2 possessions. Well, actually, they'll have one more after this, and Oklahoma has one more after this. So lots of stuff can still happen. The score is 17-14, and McKay looking smart, going for that field goal earlier, and it's going to be a short pass on first down. And of course, we have that dreaded event, which is going to kick this to the defensive plus category. Roll of 4, short pass. That's going to be 12 yards, possible sack. And USC's defense, or sack rating is a 10, defense adjustment plus 2, and 18. So avoiding the sack is Ray, and fires downfield. That's going to be complete for a 12-yard gain. And the receiver on that will be Moore. So McKay looking not to stand pat on his laurels here. He's coming out aggressively. And this will be a run play. 65, though, that's a defensive plus. That's going to be a stuff for the Sooners. And Oklahoma's defense needed that. 0 is going to be 1 yard loss and a possible fumble. So USC's fumble rating is 1-9, and no adjustment by Oklahoma. Are they going to give the Sooners a chance? They do. It is coughed up. Ball carrier there is AD, and AD met behind the line of scrimmage. A vicious hit, turns it over, and just like that, that's how quick things turn around now. Oklahoma gets their last drive of the game. And at worst, you would think they have a chance to tie it here. They're going to go down to the USC 36-yard line. So this has turned into a barn burner after it looked like Oklahoma was just going to get stagnant through 3 quarters. Was just going to get stymied here, but they've come back. So now Oklahoma running the football. It's going to come off the defensive plus category, and the ball carrier here is Burgett. And USC, they need some big plays. USC gets us stuff. So the Trojans, and 0 for the Trojans, that's going to be -2 for Burgett. Not the start to the drive that Switzer wanted. 2nd down and 12, and Oklahoma now goes to the 2-minute column to call the plays. 8's going to be a long pass, and 32 will be a stalemate result, a roll of 5. And stalemate 5, that's going to be incomplete. And that's going to make it 3rd and 12. So Oklahoma now facing another do-or-die play, and 4 down territory for Switzer as he calls a run. 12 is going to give them 2 stars on the trench control. A big result, roll of 2, 6-yard gain, and down to the 32. And that's going to make it 4th and 6. And ball carrier there was Washington. So 4th and 6 from the 32. This will be a 49-yard field goal attempt. And there is no way they can make this. So their max field goal range is 44. And for every yard over that, you subtract 10. And that's only 40 to 49 is only, as you can see here, 0 to 39. So 5 yards over the max would give them no shot. Switzer is going to have to go for it here. It is 4th down and 6. This is the ball game for the Sooners. If they do not get this, USC will have to get at least 1 first down. They can run out the clock. But bonus, possible penalty, but it's still a 2-star result. 4 and 2-star. That's a 9-yard run for Elvis Peacock into the game once again. The only thing that will screw this up will be a penalty. And Oklahoma is very penalized, 1-9. 19, that's on USC. Penalty on the defense. And let's see what that is. They'll probably decline it. And defensive penalty will be offsides. They will take the yardage. Elvis Peacock, he's had a couple of big plays for the Sooners. None bigger than that. 1st and 10 now, down to the 23-yard line. 9-yard run for Elvis as Oklahoma has surpassed 300 yards in total offense. And Switzer being smart, sticking to the ground game. This will be a defensive plus result, though. And 8 is going to be a stuff for USC. 15, the ball carrier is going to be Burgett. Burgett has had some misfortune. And 5 on the stuff result. That's going to be a big 5-yard loss. So back to the 28, and that's going to make it 2nd and 15. USC's defense coming up big. And that's 2 consecutive carries that Burgett has lost yards. He had a 26-yard run earlier in the game. Now sitting at 36 total yards on 7 carries. 2nd down, and Oklahoma again goes behind the sticks. 33 possible penalty. This is a run, and this will be a stalemate run. Roll of 1. That is a 3-yard gain. Ball carrier is Davis. Let's see if there is a penalty. And 9, and there will indeed be a penalty on Oklahoma. So Switzer. 12 is going to be holding. USC is going to happily take that. Kicks it back to the 38-yard line. And 2nd down and 25. 2nd down at 25, coming out of the 2-minute column again, and not a lot of plays for that. It's going to be a long pass attempt. 15, though, that bodes well. That's a 1-star result for Oklahoma. If they get good dice roll here. 3 of those incomplete, possible sack. And sack attempt 4, and quarterback is going to be trapped behind the line of scrimmage for an 8-yard loss, and that kicks it all the way back to the 46. It is now 3rd down and 33. We don't even go that high on the ticker. So 3rd and 33, and Switzer comes up. 61's not going to be good regardless. It is going to be a run play. They get a defensive plus adjustment for that. Roll of 1. That is going to be a 1-yard gain. Washington, the ball carrier. 4th down and 32. And now, so we are close late. So USC still has one more drive. Oklahoma can punt here. And if they stop the Trojans, they can go by the close late rule, meaning they can get a 1d6 plus 2 number of plays to try and tie, win the game, whatever the case may be. So Switzer, after some offensive mistakes, a missed blocking assignment, and a penalty, and a dubious play call here and there, he's going to punt the ball away. 4. And 4C on the punt, that is going to be a 33-yard punt, so that's good, down to the 12. Kicks that up real high, and on the return, USC is a B. Anthony Davis back there, roll of 8, and that's going to be a fair catch. So USC, so here's how this works. Close late, Oklahoma has to stop them and not give up a 1st down. If they do and force a punt, they will get basically a bonus drive close late where they roll a 1d6 and get that number of plays plus 2. But first things first, they have got to stop the Sooners, or Trojans. If USC gets a 1st down here, they will just go into kill the clock mode, and they're going to run the ball. 35, 1-star result, and ball carrier here is going to be Cunningham. They're going to give it to the big bruiser inside, and that's going to be a gain of 3. So up to the 15, 2nd down and 7 after Cunningham plows ahead for 3 yards. Second 7, and McKay calling a short pass, trying to switch things up. And again, because of that earlier event, this is going to come out of the stalemate column instead of the 1-star. So short pass, roll of 6, stalemate, and that's incomplete. So he does himself no favors there. Third down, and you think they have to pass here. They do not. They run the ball. It's going to be a stalemate result. And ball carrier here will be Cunningham. It'll be -1 to the result, roll of 1, and that is only a 3-yard gain. So Oklahoma still has a shot. It's going to be 4th and 4. And both coaches here late with some very questionable play calls. It's been a defensive battle. Oklahoma back under 300 yards after that sack. USC only has 214, 192 of those coming on the ground. So here's how this is going to work. USC will punt. And 97 or 9 on the punt's possible block, so you take the second number there. If Oklahoma had a 97 to 99, they would have blocked that punt. It's not going to be blocked, though. USC will get that away, and that's going to be a 40-yard punt. So it's going to be fielded, though. Oklahoma fields it at the 42, roll of 7 on the punt return, and 7C. No return there, so the Sooners, they are definitely close enough. We might even get close enough to have a Hail Mary. All plays now will come out of the 2-minute offense column, and again, Oklahoma still runs the ball a lot there. So we know they have 2 plays plus. They have 8 plays to score. So that's bodes very well for Oklahoma in this one, as they and if they do score, tie or go ahead, USC, because there's only one close late opportunity, it will be the ball game. So 8 plays, let's count them, and they come out sticking to the ground. 25 going to be a 1-star run result to Washington, and Washington roll of 2. That's going to be a 6-yard gain up to the 48. Second down and 4. So Switzer, God. Switzer knows he has clock to play with as Washington goes over 100 yards. He's got 102 on 20 carries. And second down, staying on the ground, 35. It's going to be a stalemate result. Ball carrier there is going to be Luttrell. He'll get a +1 to his yardage. And roll of 3 on stalemate. That'll be a 5-yard gain for Luttrell. It's going to be enough for a first down as it goes to the USC 47-yard line. Luttrell, 8 carries, 35 yards. And Davis back up to the line, wishbone attack, staying on the ground. This is play number 3. Remember, they get 8. So roll of 32 on trench control is going to be a 1-star result. And ball carrier will once again be Luttrell. And that's a gain of 6 more yards. So down to the 41-yard line, second down and 4. Second down and 4, and that is going to be a long pass attempt. Not wise there, and that will come off the defensive plus. But that's been actually good for Oklahoma. And 5, that'll be incomplete though. So that makes it third down and 4 now. Sooners 3 for 11 throwing the ball. USC 2 for 9. Both teams abysmal. And of course, the quarterback event hurts USC passing the ball. And going to be a long pass again out of the 2-minute column. Roll of 41, and that will be stalemate. Roll of 7, and Oklahoma do or die, incomplete. Just missed a possible 31-yard gain. So that makes it fourth down from the 41. We have plays left, but 3 to be exact. So here we go. This will be the ball game for Oklahoma. And 3, Oklahoma is going to run for it on fourth down and 4. 25 comes out of the +1 column. And 18, ball carrier is going to be Peacock. Peacock has had big plays all day. Can he do it again? He has got a 3-yard gain, and they're going to stop him just, well, hold on. 1 star, my bad. 7-yard gain for Elvis Peacock. And Peacock does it again. That is down to the 34-yard line. However, Oklahoma only has 2 plays left. So if they don't get something on this one, they're going to have to try a Hail Mary to end the game. So 2 plays left for the Sooners and roll of 4. They're still going to stick to the ground and either get close enough to kick a field goal or throw one up. 45 on the trench control will be a stalemate column, and ball carrier is Luttrell, so he gets a +1, and that D10 is cocked, so we'll roll it again, 2. So 2 out of the stalemate. That will be a 6-yard gain, but it's a possible fumble, and wouldn't that be fitting if that's how this ball game ended? So again, on the fumble, 10 or less, and 16, they retain possession, but now they're in a little bit of a pickle here. So they have 1 play left. The ball is on the USC 28-yard line. This would be a 45-yard field goal. The chances to make that would only be 0 to 29. Chances to complete a pass into the end zone even less. So Switzer's going to trot the field goal team out to tie the game here. 3 seconds left in the game. It's come down to this, ladies and gentlemen. 17 to 14, Trojans in the lead. McKay, hands on his knees on the USC sideline. Switzer pacing back and forth, still cursing about the 4 turnovers. Here comes the snap. The kick. It's up, and it is just wide to the right. No good. That is the ball game. Oklahoma misses a field goal as time runs out. USC holds on for the 17 to 14 victory, despite being outgained by the Sooners by 103 yards. The story of this game was turnovers, folks. USC 1 turnover, Oklahoma 4 very costly turnovers, and that was a difference. So let's go through our final stats now. Total offense, Oklahoma 54 carries, 287 yards with their potent wishbone attack. 12 pass attempts for 30 yards. Total of 66 plays, 317 yards. USC 47 carries, 192 yards on the ground. 9 pass attempts, 22 yards through the air. So 56 total plays, 214 total yards for the Trojans. And again, USC hurt by the loss of their quarterback through that event that happened early in the second half, actually the first drive of the second half. And that did make a difference as they had to roll pass attempts 1 column worse than the trench control gave them. And that definitely cost them a couple of completions down the stretch, which may have been big. But they still do enough to hold on to for the victory. Let's go through our individual stats. Washington for the Sooners, leading rusher of the game, 20 carries, 102 yards, a touchdown, lost a fumble. Davis, the quarterback, 10 carries, 38 yards. He also had a touchdown. Luttrell, 9 carries, 41 yards. Burgett, 7 carries, 36. He had a fumble. Elvis Peacock in limited duty had some big plays for the Sooners, including a 28-yard run, a team high. 6 carries, 54 yards for Peacock, and Russell, 2 for 16. Throwing the ball, Oklahoma, Davis, 3 for 12, total of 30 yards. Owens, 2 catches for 18. Hoffman, 1 for 12. Going to USC, Anthony Davis. Oklahoma zeroed in on him. He had 16 carries for 65 yards, a touchdown. McNeil, 12 carries for 80, also a touchdown, but a very costly fumble. Luckily, it did not hurt USC at the end of the day, but it killed a big drive early in the first half. Sam Bam Cunningham, he just did the dirty work inside, 11 carries for 36 yards. Quarterback Ray, 6 carries, a net of -6. Carter, 2 for 17. Ray again, 2 for 9, 22 yards, no interceptions, no TDs. And the recipient of his 2 completions, Young, 1 for 10, Moore, 1 for 12. So that's it. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming. That has been a full play-by-play mode of Glory Days College Football. The first half up Tuesday, second half today. And again, just to summarize and go through each mode, the game is designed to be played in hybrid mode, which you simulate the first half of the drive. Then if you get into plus territory and the drive is successful, you jump into play-by-play mode. You can also do quick play, which is two portions, or two, basically the drive is cut into two halves, and both are simulated. And you can do full play-by-play mode. The advantages and disadvantages of each, I find, and again, it was designed for hybrid, but it's the most balanced of the play styles. It will give you a good football experience with a variety of stats, pretty much all in line with what you would expect, in about half the time it would take to play a full play-by-play mode. So you can play a hybrid game in 45 to 50 minutes, 55 minutes max maybe. And then quick play, of course, you can play an entire game. If you don't keep stats, you can play an entire quick game or quick play game in 25 minutes. And that can be used to do replays where you're just simulating other teams on a team schedule. Or you can do quick play and keep total stats. That will add a few minutes, of course, while you fill in the score sheets and calculate all that at the end. But and the disadvantage of that, obviously the advantage is it's the fastest mode. If you just have, a half an hour to spend playing games, that might be the sweet spot for you for that time period. The disadvantage, you do not get quite the variety of stats in terms of variances with the ball carriers. You do use the yardage adjustment, so that will give you some variance, but it will be a consistent variance, for lack of better words. So again, you won't get the highs and lows on stats game to game using quick play. Play-by-play mode, of course, that is the longest. That takes 90 minutes or more. 90, and in these videos, these two halves together are going to be over 90, but I've done a lot of talking, obviously. So yeah, 90 minutes, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on how fast you play. And the advantage there is you get the most variance in stats, as you can see in this game. Here Davis, with his yardage adjustment, had a lot of stalemate runs, had a sack, got stuffed once, 3.8 yards a carry. Washington, their main runner, averaged just over 5 yards a carry, and you get everything in between. Peacock with a couple of big runs off the bench. And same with USC, the quarterback here, minus 6 yards on 6 credited touches. And Davis, they were keying him. Normally he would be the leading rusher, but it was McNeil, 12 carries for 80 yards, just had a much better day, had a couple of big play runs. Davis was held to 65 on 16. And of course, the disadvantage on full play-by-play is here the play totals came up what you would expect for these two teams. Two run-heavy teams, only 21 total pass attempts, so obviously you're going to chew clock. 66 and 56 plays, definitely in line with what you would expect in that type of game. So that's fine in this one. Occasionally they will be a little low, and by a little I just mean a few plays. And also, and it was a story of this game, you had 4 turnovers for the Sooners, and a lot of that, of course, goes back to the ratings. Oklahoma, when they have a possible interception, it's probably happening unless the other team is just terrible on defense on interceptions, because they're 1-19, and that's how their quarterbacks performed in 1974. But end result, you will be a little bit high. In play-by-play mode, you will probably, on average, have 1 or more turnovers more than you would using hybrid. I would say 1 would be a safe estimate. Occasionally, you might have 2 more than you would get using hybrid mode. And, definitely here, perfectly feasible. Oklahoma running the triple option might fumble the ball away twice. USC did lose 1 fumble, which is reasonable. The 2 interceptions, though, because they have a 1-19 rating. So pick your poison. Again, you might have 1 or 2 more turnovers a game than normally, but you get the greatest variety of stats. So it's kind of all 3 modes summarized. And again, the recommended way to play is hybrid, but your game, play it any way you want. In fact, you want to play a half on quick play, jump into play-by-play in the second half, play hybrid for 2 quarters, play-by-play 1, then oops, I don't have a lot of time, I'll finish the game in quick play. You can do all that because the Excel helper is able to accommodate all 3 methods and any mixture or variation of the methods you use. It can all come out and be used or documented on this helper, and it will generate complete stats for you. So a lot of flexibility there. And again, your game, play it how you want to play, and I try to make, our games as flexible for the user as possible. And just like Glory Days Boxing has a lot of flexibility, I like to think this does too. And to me, that's a key aspect of game designs, is everyone likes to tweak and house rule stuff on their games, and give the user the opportunity to do that. So anyway, I'm rambling. Appreciate you guys checking out the video. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming. Hope you all have a great Thursday night, and we will talk to you later.